Welcome, sports bettors from around the world.
Good morning, everybody out there in YouTube land. My name's Jared. Philly is on the other side of the United States. Good morning. This is Philly Jared in the morning. You're watching Sports Gambling Daily. Good morning, Philly. How are you this morning?
Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. We made it to the middle of the week and time to, roll downhill from here.
That's right. Yep. We got to keep this thing rolling, Philly, from yesterday. We had a pretty good day. We went 3-1 on the premium card. And, we hit our 3-unit play, which was the Lakers versus Bulls over. We had the OKC Thunder minus 2.5. And they won by, 9 points, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Boston Celtics versus Cleveland Cavaliers. We had the over in that one as well. So we swept the basketball board. We lost our only hockey play. And speaking of the Cavaliers, that was the game that we put out here for the people to guess the exact score to get 1 week's free membership if you get the exact score. We had a couple close ones, Philly. We had a lot of people to participate, so I appreciate everybody that did come out and participate. But nobody had the exact score.
No, they didn't. But we can always roll it out again if you want. It's up to you, of course.
All right, let's do it. This is going to be an interesting one here, guys. Let's guess the exact score of the Golden State Warriors versus the Houston Rockets. If you guess that exact score, then you get a week's worth of premium selections from SGT, all on the house. All you got to do is guess the exact score and put it in the description down below. Now, I realize that I probably have to have a couple rules here. If your post is edited, it automatically doesn't count. It doesn't matter if it's before game time or not. So if you have to edit your post, you better just delete the comment and then resubmit it. Because I don't know what time you're editing it, so it could be after game time. Also, obviously, you have to have the submission before game time. We had a couple people post it at halftime yesterday, and they still lost. But I'm like, okay, well, I need to get some rules out here. So that's the rules, guys. So, definitely post down there in the description down below.
Yeah, they're 2 easy rules. They seem fair.
Yeah, it's fair rules. Nothing crazy.
That's right.
All right, so that's the Rockets versus the Warriors. So we got 9 games on the card today, so we probably should get into it. Real quick, if you want a month's worth of premium plays from SGD, simple. It's $30 a month, and you go over to sgdwins.com. We had quite a few people sign up yesterday, so I appreciate that, and we look forward to working with each and every single one of you guys. All right, Philly, let's jump into today's card because we don't. This is going to be way too long of a video, and we don't want to make everybody upset. Just a couple people. All right. Let's see here. Today, the first game we're going to get into is, when I pull up my stuff here, is going to be the New York Knicks taking on the Detroit Pistons. The Pistons are minus 2.5. Now, this line is not easy to be found right now, but it looks like that's the line. So, real quick, Philly has a casino in Philadelphia called Parks Casino. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. Yep.
So it looks like they're posting lines before the general world is posting lines. So right now you can't find this line anywhere in the country or even in the world online. But his casino has Pistons minus 2.5. So that's what we're going to roll with. Mm-hmm. So go ahead and start breaking down Pistons and Knicks, short and sweet.
Well, this is the battle of shit as far as I'm concerned. But I mean, just looking early, and obviously we speak about leans and lineups not being out, but realistically it shows Derrick Rose is out today, Reggie Jackson is out today, Blake Griffin's out today, Tim Frazier's out today. Now, if that's the case, the other day they literally had Andre Drummond bringing the ball up as a guard at some point. It was absolutely insane.
That's crazy.
The Knicks are nothing special, but at least they're somewhat healthy. I don't know. I'm rolling with the Knicks plus the points until something shows me with his lineups.
All right, so you like Knicks plus the points. Right now, the Knicks overall is 1-6, overall record, but they're 4-3 against the spread, so they're keeping the games somewhat close. Mm-hmm. And the Pistons, they are 3-5 overall, and also 3-5 against the spread. So it looks like when they lose, they're losing by a lot. Real quick, head-to-head trends. whoever the favorite is in these matchups. So in this case, it would be the Pistons. In this matchup head-to-head, the favorite's 21-7 against the spread in their last 28 meetings. Now, the Knicks are 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 meetings. All that being said, I'm actually going to take the Pistons, even though with all the injury issues, I'm still not a believer of the Knicks. So, and I feel like the Pistons have something to prove this year a little bit. Like they play it, they're not as okay, they're still not a great team, but they're not pushovers like they were last year, in my opinion. So I feel like they're trying to prove a little something. So
yeah, I don't disagree. My only thing is just they don't really have a lot of scoring if this lineup holds up. But
right,
2.5 points. I mean, you can't really. It could certainly go either way.
Sure, yeah, it's a pretty good line there. All right, moving on, and guys, remember these are our initial leans. These are not official plays. So I mean, like we've said in previous videos, it's like 7 in the morning over here. So, we're going to check out line movements and lineups. So, a lot of things can change. But, all right, Washington Wizards taking on the Indiana Pacers. Right now, you got the Wizards, man, one of the best teams out there against the spread. 5-1 against the spread. Overall, they're 2-4. And the Pacers, they're 3-4 against the spread, and they're also 3-4 overall. All right, what you got? Wizards versus Pacers.
Well, I'm showing the Wizards are getting 5.5. If this is going to be the line that I'm using, since it's the only one I see.
Okay.
Interesting. The Washington Wizards just implemented Isaiah Thomas into the starting lineup. Who, I mean, if you know anything about him, he's been a pretty good scorer through his career, but he doesn't seem to stick on too many. He's been on like 5 teams already.
Mm-hmm.
But between him and Bradley Beal, they do have 2 legitimate scorers. And, the rookie Hachimura, who's was a nice college player. We'll see what translates. I don't know. At the moment, they actually had a really good game. The last game played pretty well. So I might lean Washington plus the points just because they've been covering so much. And
I like that too.
Yeah, I think that's the right play. Indiana's been a little up and down. Brogdon had a monster game yesterday, but he's really the only one that's doing a whole hell of a lot for them.
Right. Yeah, so Wizards are 9-2 against the spread in their last 11 meetings on the road in Indianapolis. So, yeah, give me the Wizards.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on to the Bulls versus Atlanta. Now, talk about the Bulls. This team was cruising versus LA. They really showed up to play, and then all of a sudden in the fourth quarter, complete meltdown collapse. I mean, the Lakers were on like a 16-0 run to start the fourth quarter, and I was like, oh my God, are we, if we had the over in that game, I'm like, God, are we going to lose to a bad beat where the Bulls are just going to have like a 10-point quarter and we're not going to be able to cover that over? Well, no, that didn't happen, thankfully, but I mean, I couldn't see it. All of a sudden, the Lakers are losing 13. Now they're winning by 3 during that stretch. Pretty crazy. Here, the Chicago is on the road on a back-to-back to Atlanta. Now, that definitely will take a little bit out of you. You play a home game, and then you immediately jump on a plane and play in Atlanta, playing a team that is a pretty good team.
Yeah.
And let's see, we got Atlanta minus 2.5 at home. Right now, Bulls are 3-5 against the spread. Atlanta 4-2 against the spread. What do you think about this one?
All right, so they both played yesterday. Atlanta won yesterday. That was a game that I had personally. I liked them. They were getting 6 points. Trae Young's back. They lost Jonathan Collins to a 25-game suspension for whatever, PED use or whatever, but they slide Jabari Parker right into the starting lineup, and I'll be honest with you, I don't think it's much of a drop-off. He might even be potentially as good, if not a better player. Considering they both played yesterday and considering the Hawks did not have to travel and considering they're pretty healthy at the moment, I mean, I like them minus the 2.5 at least to start for sure. Chicago is athletic, young, but they don't play any defense, and they seem to collapse in second halves a lot.
Yeah. I mean, that was almost unheard of, though, to go just going a 16-0, run like that. Ugh,
Yep.
That was crazy. I mean, the Bulls, I thought, played LA scrappy, but I felt like they were giving LA all they could because LA is one of those teams that you have your target. They have their target on their back every single night, with LeBron and AD.
Sure.
I think they go to Atlanta and not have the same kind of intensity. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I like
I mean, I
that.
know that they got off to a slow start. Anthony Davis was back home in his hometown, and I don't know
Mhm.
if maybe little home cooking got him. But yeah, they played like no defense in the first half, and that was what they've been doing. And then in the second half, that intensity picked up, and they rolled him.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
that's
it was really bad, man. In the first quarter, both teams were playing fairly poor. But yeah, in this one, give me the Atlanta Hawks -2.5. Uh,
mhm.
let's see here, but I can tell you that there is some trends leaning towards the Bulls. The road team is 6-0 in their last six against the spread in the last 6 meetings. So
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I could see the Bulls winning the game, but I don't know until they can show me they can finish a game. That's my problem with them right now.
all right, let's move on to the Kings versus the Toronto Raptors. Kings are 2-5 against the spread. The Raps are 4-2 against the spread. Now this line opened up at 8.5. It's been bet down to -8 for the home team, which is Toronto. What do you think? You think the Kings can go on a roll here and just start maybe not winning, but covering spreads?
I mean, I think the Kings are better than the way they're playing right now. They're a
Sure.
pretty good up and coming team. They were one of my like sort of darlings coming into this year, along with the Suns, who are
Mhm.
showing me something obviously. So yeah, I mean, 8 points is a lot. Obviously, Toronto's is the champs, but it's not exactly the same team when you lose Kawhi. They're at home. They're tough. I mean, I don't know. That's an either kind of game for me. That's where you sort of flip a coin. But in a weird way, I would lean Sacramento plus the points, frankly.
Here's here's an interesting stat. The under is 8-0 in their last 8 meetings, which is kind of
Hmm.
weird because last year the Kings were scoring at will last year, and you know, and the over under right now opened up at 218. It's currently at 219, so that'd be something to consider. All right, now moving on to Golden State. This is an interesting line and game here. Golden State
Yes.
taking on the Houston Rockets. Now, this, I can tell you for a fact, this game used to mean a whole lot to the Rockets every single year. This year is different. Obviously, Golden State is not like who they used to be. Right now, Golden State is 2-5 against the spread, where the Rockets are 1-6 against the spread. They have not been playing well. This line opened up at an amazing, whopping -17 for the Rockets. It is currently at -16.5 for the Rockets at home. And frankly, Philly, this just seems like I don't even know where they came up with this line. It seems like this is like a teaser line. I think 16.5 is just way too much. What do you think?
Totally agree. And frankly, it might not be a bad play for a teaser if you just wanted to pad it a little bit. But I don't in any way, shape, or form understand this line. I get it because, if you look at the Golden State lineup, it kind of looks like a G League team.
Right.
And obviously, Houston has got some marquee names and all. But tell me what Houston has done to warrant this. I mean, they get up to big leads, they tend to blow them. I just watched Golden State beat
Hmm.
Portland the other night, and sometimes when you got guys that have some things to prove, they're basically writing these guys off like they're nothing.
Yeah.
You come out and you surprise a team, and Houston's the type of team that I could see getting like just getting taken like sort of taking this a little too lightly.
Right.
Um, it's just too many points. I have to lean Golden State plus the points. I could see Houston winning the game certainly.
Hmm.
Which with Eric Pascal for Golden State had a monster game, 30 and 18. I mean, that's legit, man.
Yeah.
And I
Versus
don't
the
know if
Blazers.
what's that, Kevin?
Versus
Yeah,
the
against the
Blazers,
Blazers.
right?
Yep. And I don't know if D'Angelo Russell's playing tonight. He's kind of game time, it looks like. But I don't know, man. I just can't support Houston having to win by 17.
So here, let me play devil's advocate.
Sure.
So I can tell you right now that the Warriors, that was the team that the Rockets cared about the most the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Now we all know that it's not the same Warriors, but if they have a chance, if the Rockets have a chance to, stomp them into the ground, this might be it. And also, the Rockets, we know all they like to do is shoot 3-pointers and go to the rack. That's all they do. Now, if the Rockets get on a roll and they start hitting 3-pointers all over the place, do the Warriors have the firepower to fire back? They don't have Steph Curry, they don't have KD, they don't have Klay Thompson,
Right.
they might not have D'Lo. All their weapons are gone. So
No, you're right.
that's the one issue is if the Rockets go on a streak, which they are very capable of doing, do the Warriors have what it takes to fight back that streak? Because the Rockets and Blazers are built differently. So that's the one thing I could see is if they go on a streak, I don't think the Warriors have a chance to get back in it. So
No, that's not wrong. I mean, you're right about that. They shot, I think, over 50% against Portland, which certainly helped. Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, if Houston's hitting their threes, and they play even a little bit of D, I mean, you're not wrong about that at
and
all.
I believe that if given the opportunity, the Rockets will do whatever they can to blow them out.
Hmm.
Because it's almost like taking out your frustration, from all the
Sure.
previous years. So, I think 17 is a big number, though. 16 and a half is a huge number. I think I lean more under on this one. 232 is the over under here. So, but right now, if I had to choose, I'm going to go Golden State just because, hey, if Houston has just a poor game and Golden State plays out of their mind, then that's an easy number to cover.
Yeah, I have a feeling if D'Angelo Russell ends up playing, the number comes down maybe a little bit also, but we'll see.
All right. Let's move on to Minnesota versus Memphis. You got Minnesota coming in 3-2 against the spread, where Memphis is 1-5 against the spread. This line opened up. Memphis is a home dog at +5. It is currently +4.5 with some of the money coming in on Memphis. What do you think here, Phil? You think we got Karl Anthony Towns back? You think that that's going to make a big difference when they come to town versus the Memphis Grizzlies?
Yeah, that certainly can't hurt having him back, and I would imagine he'd have a little chip on his shoulder ready to play tonight. I mean, obviously, when he comes to bring it, he's a pretty good player for sure. And the only thing, I mean, they have some talent on that side of the ball. They're a little up and down, man. Wiggins, you never know what you're going to get with him. And I mean, I've shown Jeff Teague is a game time decision, but he may play. Early, man, I might possibly lean Minnesota, just because I feel like they have a fairly decent team that's got some things to prove and hasn't really put it all together yet. But I don't know. I don't know if it's a game I'd actually bet myself, frankly. But early on, as a lean, I'm looking at Minnesota.
May I interest you in a stat?
I would love to hear a stat.
All right. Timberwolves are 2-7 against the spread. The last 9 times these two teams have met up. So keep that in mind when you're doing your handicapping. I think I'll lean Memphis in this one, but it's not a strong lean. Moving on, Orlando, Dallas. We got Orlando on the road taking Dallas at home. Orlando is 1-5 against the spread. They're one of the most disappointing teams against the spread versus a Dallas team that's 3-3 against the spread. This line opened up -6.5 for the home team, which is Dallas. It is currently -7.5 for Dallas. What say you? You think Porzingis and Luka continue some of their dominance, especially against, in my opinion, a weaker Eastern opponent?
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty legit as far as I can tell. I mean, they got a decent bench. They got a nice starting 5. Orlando, I mean, they were a playoff team from last year, and they got some good pieces as well. But they're really up and down. I'm certainly going to pay attention to the line in this, but I mean, early on, I like Dallas to win this game. I think they have 2 really superior players in Porzingis and Luka Doncic, and I don't really see Orlando. They don't have the firepower really to match them as far as I can see.
The home team is 7-1 against the spread in their last 8 meetings, and the over is 20-8 in their last 28 meetings. And I mean, the over/under is 207.5, so it's not a big number to cover. So I definitely like the over, and I also like Dallas to cover. But if you're going to get Dallas, you better get it now before the line gets too beat up. That thing can get up to 8.5 before you know it.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, 2 more games, and then we are out of here. We got Philadelphia versus the Utah Jazz. Philly's on the road. Jazz are at home. And Philly, 3-2 against the spread. The Jazz are 2-5 against the spread. Current line is Utah at home -1.5. It's currently up to 2. So what do you think, man? Jazz -2. That's an intriguing line versus probably one of the best teams in the East. and you also get Joel Embiid back. Is that correct?
That is correct. On my side, I actually have them plus 2.5, the Sixers. Yeah, initially when I look at this and I go, you're giving me the Sixers plus 2.5 points, I'm like, wow. But that also makes me have a little pause because I'm like, why is that? I mean, they're getting Embiid back, like you said. They're a relatively healthy team. They have a couple of injuries, but it's not with the major pieces. I don't show anything where anybody's on any load management for the Sixers. Utah, obviously, Mike Conley makes a difference. They play pretty big defense. I like Bogdanovich. Joel Embiid has pretty much dominated Rudy Gobert over the times they've played.
Right. I was going to ask about that. It just seems like he dominates every single time. So why wouldn't they just continue to feed him? It's almost like you're neutralizing their best defensive weapon.
Totally hear you, bro. I'm not really sure what's up with this. I don't know. They're on the road. Okay, it's not a back-to-back situation. They just lost to a really good Suns team without Embiid. I mean, I like to get them to get back on track, and I'll fade my teams, but you're giving me 2.5 points with a team that I think realistically has championship aspirations. I'm taking them, man.
Okay. Well, to your point, 76ers are 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 meetings. And the under, Philly, is 9-2 in the last 11 meetings. And that's kind of where I'm leaning, is both of those under and also the road team, which is the 76ers.
Yeah, man.
All right, last game on the docket, and then we are done. This is an interesting game. This easily could be a championship game here. We got the Bucks taking on the LA Clippers. Let's see here. The Bucks are 5-2 against the spread. The Clippers are 4-3 against the spread. The Clippers, if I'm reading this correct, it opened up with the Clippers -2, but now they are a +2.5. So that must mean Kawhi is not playing. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was reading that last night. It didn't say like specifically for what, but it looks like he is out. Thing I have here on Roto World says that he is out, and it's
how disappointing is that?
Management.
Because this is one of those games that just could be it could be a championship game, and all of a sudden he's out for load management again. I mean, wasn't he just out a couple of days ago?
He was, and this is part of the problem I feel like the NBA has. It's actually bullshit because as a fan, like, you buy tickets to come see a game, especially a marquee matchup. Like, I could see if he sat out against the fucking Golden State Warriors right now, but like, it bothers me, man, because sometimes you buy tickets in advance thinking these guys are gonna play and he doesn't. I don't get it. I really don't. But at the end of the day, I mean, I guess it's up to them to do what they want.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that being said, I mean, I'm showing actually plus 3.5 in my book. I guess the line's swinging around a little bit. They're not quite the same team without Kawhi. We've seen it already. I mean, this is the Lou Williams show after when that's usually when he's out.
Yeah, well, they got blown out when Kawhi didn't play last time, didn't they?
They sure did. And Milwaukee looks like they're starting to figure it out a little bit. They've blown a couple early leads in the year. And, I mean, talking about a 3.5 points, 2.5 points. I'm probably leaning Milwaukee without Kawhi for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think I have to go the Bucks for sure. And another interesting stat is the under is 5-1 in their last 6 meetings in LA. And here's a stat: Bucks are 0-3-1 against the spread in their last 4 meetings. But without having Kawhi there, I think that might. I mean, I gotta lean Milwaukee here. Kawhi is such a big piece. So, but if you're gonna get it, man, you better get it now because this line's gonna get out of hand if as much as it's being bet down.
Yeah.
So, and that's it, guys. That's the show. So, if you made it this far, I appreciate it.
One more thing you forgot, though.
Huh?
You got one thing you forgot.
What did I forget?
The game that we're doing the contest on, or did I forget we picked one?
Yeah, we picked one. It was the Golden State Warriors versus the Rockets.
Never mind.
Hey,
the show's been too long.
Welcome to the show, Philly.
Yeah, that's right. We talked about that first. I apologize, everybody.
Yeah, you need some more sleep, man. That's the problem being on the East Coast. You stay up all night, and then you get up so early to do these videos. So, exactly right. Yeah, guys, to Philly's point, make sure you put your answer, the exact score between the Golden State Warriors versus the Rockets. Remember the 2 rules. No editing your post, and also make sure you have your score prediction in before game time. Let's see. Hey, get our premium plays. $30 a month. Links in the description. It's sgdwins.com. We're going to keep rolling, Philly. We're going to keep knocking out this NBA schedule here. And
Love it.
yeah, I'm excited, man. And I'll see you guys later. I'll talk to you later, Philly. And good luck to you. Good luck to me. Good luck to everybody, except for the people that I'm thinking about. And we'll see y'all tomorrow morning. Thanks for watching.
Happy hump day, everyone.